Spencer was the worst decision ever. Apparently, Game Pass leads to more sales, says Phil Spencer. Jeff Grun says that Microsoft management is upset with the state of Xbox. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Where have you been? How you guys doing? Welcome on in. It's another day, another bull squash. WW5 has literally started with the Sony ponies and the Xbox. As always, fat pom-pom to the Bumbleclad. Like and subscribe, and let's check this out.
Comes to the topic of console wars, I feel like the big three are very, very different. Sony is definitely trying to sell as many PlayStations as possible. Nintendo is dead set on the success of the Switch, but Microsoft, they're not super invested in the Xbox. As a company, Microsoft has trillions of dollars, but most of that comes from Windows. It comes from AI. It comes from infrastructure. It comes from
cap or facts,
servers. And now it's very bizarre to say this, but it sounds like Microsoft is very mad at Xbox. And I want to talk about that. What's up, gamers? Dreamcastguy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you can like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So,
guys, fat pom-pom to the Bumbleclad. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
That is very much a buzz with this quote that came out from Jeff Grun, the famous leaker himself, where he said, Microsoft is not happy with the state of Xbox.
Oh, damn.
I can tell you, they're not. They're upset. We're just trying to diagnose a little bit. You know, they didn't release a single first-party game last year, which is a completely insane to think about. They didn't release a first-party game in all of 2022. Just truly insane. If that doesn't affect you, if you always have something to play, that's awesome. But a lot of people regret getting an Xbox. Now, to go a step further than this,
hey yo, cut the cap, cut the wad, guys. As high-value men we need to intercept this conversation immediately, okay? If you're a Sony pony, I better not see any Sony ponies dropping ones, okay? If you're, guys, listen, okay? I better not see any Sony pony manipulating the voting system in my chat. If you have Xbox, okay, only drop one if you regret buying Xbox. Bruh. Drop 2 if you do not regret buying. If you're a Sony pony, I better not see you spamming 1, okay? I need your honest thoughts, guys. Like, come on, son. We as gamers, okay, we are all getting dirty collectively. We recently had The Last of Us Part 1. Instead of having Joel in the game, they ended up dropping Noel. Bruh. We ended up having Noel in the game. And in Call of Duty, you look at that, like, we got friendly UAV online. So all gamers from all walks of life are getting done absolutely dirty. Games are coming out incomplete. Games are coming out not finished, which means the same thing. And games are filled with microtransactions. Some games don't even have single player. Some games have single player, which is lackluster. Other games have like 7 multiplayer maps only, you know what I'm saying? So games are coming out incomplete. Gamers are getting done dirty, whether you play on Sony ponies or Xbox, okay? I don't care. It's plastics at the end of the day. They do not care about you. Stop being a blind fanboy, okay? You can be a fan of consoles. You can be you can have preferences. You can prefer Xbox over PlayStation, vice versa, PlayStation over Xbox or PC. But even the PC Supreme, PC Master Race is getting done dirty. Like, the ports are coming out incomplete, unfinished. I believe only, I could be wrong though, and I'm a man, so always men are always wrong, right? I could be wrong. But I'm hearing that Dead Island 2 PC port is actually good. Oh my god, yes! Right? I don't know. Is that true? I'm not sure. You be the judge, but do you regret buying Xbox? Let me know in the chat, guys. Holy.
Sounds like a big part of why this topic came up is because it sounds like Hi-Fi Rush, which is the first major Xbox game of 2023, completely bombed. It made no money. It absolutely, it was a success critically. It was a success when it came to Game Pass subscriptions, people actually playing it.
I accidentally played that sound effect, so I had to do that, guys. My bad.
But it didn't make the money it needed to make. Now, what's interesting about this topic to me is that a lot of people are confused because if you look at their actual public PR, they're saying this is one of the most successful launches for Bethesda. It's generated a significant amount.
Yeah, it says here, like, given the confluence of recent events, it seems this situation with Xbox is struggling with the first-party games will inevitably break for one reason or another. Jeff Grun has said that some surprisingly honest things. I mean, about the state of Xbox division in the Microsoft presumably based, like Phil Spencer did say that Game Pass leads to more sales, so I don't know about that. We believe everything we read on forums now. our video interview is not good enough anymore. So yeah, like some people are not even believing this, some are believing it, some are like, bro, like I don't even know what's happening. And Xbox exec response to Hi-Fi Rush rumor says that the game was a breakout hit. Tweets are getting deleted left and right, everybody's engaging, and Aaron Greenberg responds by saying Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit for us and our player in all key measurements and expectations. We couldn't be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release. And right now a lot of people are actually looking like this, and a lot of people are not believing it. Some are saying that the bots are also making these memes that Hi-Fi Rush is a success. Pony. And here's the thing, right? Some people are saying that Jeff Grubb is our savior, he is spitting facts. Some people are believing Aaron because yep, that is their official response. Other people are saying that it's just damage control, do not believe the lies. I want to know what you think on the situation.
Positive momentum. You know, those generic kind of statements that Xbox likes to release. Every time Xbox puts out anything, they're like, wow, this game is perfect for Game Pass. Oh my god, Phil Spencer, this completely saved my family's life. Xbox loves their positive PR, but I mean, every company does. Nintendo does this, PlayStation does this. They like to pat themselves on the back.
As I'm editing this video, Xbox said we promised Hi-Fi Rush didn't flop.
But the weirdness of this is that a lot of people are sort of debating whether or not the Game Pass model is actually becoming predatory to the overall Microsoft ecosystem. If trying to get, 10 million or 20 million people to pay $20 a month or $15 a month, is that...
Here's the thing, right? I said this before, I'll say it again. Game Pass is a good model for like gamers, like $15, $20 a month. You get a lot of games, and if Call of Duty deal goes through, Call of Duty can be on it, so you can save $70 a year. But realistically, if you only want to play Call of Duty, then it's gonna be better if you pay $70 up front, because you know what, after 7 months, even 4 months later, if it's like $15 a month, right, it's gonna almost be break even, more expensive in the 5th month, right? So it's always gonna be better if you buy the game as is. But if you want to play like hundreds and hundreds of games that Xbox give you with the Game Pass, then it's a better model. But obviously this is one of those things, right? Like, hey, Game Pass, is it sustainable? Is this the McDonald's of gaming, right? Because a lot of people are saying that, and now more than ever this is a conversation going around that because they have Game Pass that is super cheap and you got a lot of the games on it, that's why the quality is not there. That's why you do not see any big first party title from Xbox, and these smaller games are making the rounds. Yeah, some people love it, these are niche games, and Hi-Fi Rush, we heard good things from people that played it. I'm not saying that it's trash or anything, it's a niche game, right? You like it, if you like it, you like it. But now a lot of people are saying that, bro, this is basically why Xbox games are not there. We're not seeing like any first party titles. I want to know your thoughts. You think that Game Pass is hurting or not hurting? Because I mean, it's a good model though. It is a good model for gamers, but it might not be sustainable in the long run.
Making significantly less cash than people actually buying their games. Xbox needs to start encouraging people to actually purchase stuff again. The Game Pass model may work if you have a crazy amount of subscribers, but you need to sell consoles to sell Game Pass, and we know that's not going well. This is a tweet from Kofi. Now, a lot of people are saying, okay, well, here's the thing. Xbox is just a tiny piece of the pie. The Xbox brand isn't supposed to be strong. Microsoft is totally fine
not strong, not independent. Nah, yo, cut the wad, bro. Like, any business, okay? Any business, whether it's small or big, if they say they don't want to be a strong business, they don't care, they are capping to you, my friend. They're
stupid.
They are capping to you. They are capping, as the kids would say nowadays. Every business out there has number one motive. The only motive they have is to make money, to make more money and more money and more money, because if they can make more money, they can report high earnings to their shareholders. If the shareholders are happy, they're gonna invest into your stock, into your company, therefore you're gonna have more money, and therefore you're gonna make more money, and more money will make you more money, this and that, and the cycle will continue, and you're gonna be like this. You're gonna be strong, you're gonna be independent. So every company wanna be strong and independent. This is bullshit, okay? This is whenever they say they don't want to be strong, they don't care for it, they do care for it. It's just that their priorities can be in different ways, or they're pursuing different routes, different paths, which is perfectly fine. If you want to go in the direction of Game Pass, that is perfectly fine, right? I ain't got no problem with this one. It's just that if you happen to have Xbox, I don't have Xbox, But if you happen to have Xbox and you are complaining about not having any first-party titles, no quality games out there, then it can be a problem. But if you're happy with it, then there's no problem. As an outsider looking in, I mean, they're definitely like with the Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, we're hearing that behind the scenes they're actually struggling. They're saying that we are not making any money. And as an outsider, or in fact, like I'm a gamer, they would label me as toxic gamer. They would label you as toxic gamer. But as a toxic gamer, right? We can all see they got no games coming out right now. Like, bruh, let's be objective, okay? Like, I know people will fight over Sony ponies and Xbox till the end of times and do that if that give you that dopamine, but let's be objective. Xbox got no massive games. Even Sony, okay, yeah, they got Horizon, but I wouldn't view Horizon as a big game or anything like that. It can be a good game for some people. Compare that to something like God of War. PlayStation, in my humble opinion, PlayStation only had one massive game, which is God of War. Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, we're not talking about those games because those are not first-party titles. Those are on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. Those are third-party titles that are on every single platform. But speaking of like a massive first-party title, so far PlayStation has one. This generation has been lacking big times with game. I believe the homie Tom Henderson recently came out and he did say that we should have got next-gen consoles, PlayStation 5 and Series X in 2023. I kind of agree. I feel like that, you know, 2022 would have been better, but we're already in 2023, so this year would have been better. Let's be real, we are getting cucked left and right. Whether you play on Xbox or PlayStation, we're not getting any games. But in defense of PlayStation, yup, we're getting Spiderman 2 coming out this year. They're also making Wolverine, so we know what's coming. Yeah, Xbox is gonna be having Starfield. I'm actually genuinely curious and genuinely interested in that, but already there's news going around that it's gonna be 30 FPS. Like, come on guys, Bethesda needs to get hit by a stun grenade, or in fact I feel like that they already got hit by a stun grenade. Redfall 30 FPS, I mean, that's just unacceptable. I understand there are people that are like I like 30 FPS, I like 30 FPS, and if you like 30 FPS, that's fine, but there you cannot defend them when they publicly come out and they say that we're gonna patch 60 FPS in later on. Like, what? You get the point, right? That tells you that the game is not ready. The fact that you have to patch 60 FPS, like a standard feature that we had for years and years in video games, right? Even the Call of Duty, correct me if I'm wrong, but Call of Duty games in the past were on the Sony Ponies 3s, on the 360s, were 60 FPS, or at least that it kind of felt like it. If they were not 60 FPS, because my memory ain't sharp enough, my memory's foggier than Snoop Dogg's bathroom, now I'm saying. But let's talk about PS4 and Xbox One, for example. Call of Duty games and a ton of games that came out around the era were 60 FPS. So now you're saying with this Xbox Series X hardware, and realistically enough, Gotham Knights as well, that was on PS5 and Series X, both of those consoles were playing that game 30 FPS. I'm not saying it's Xbox Series X fault, because the hardware is more than capable, guys. PS5 hardware is more than capable. It's just Bethesda. It's just the lazy devs. I'm not sure if it's the management or these lazy devs. I don't know who it is, okay? But the fact that Redfall is 30 FPS, that is unacceptable, bruh. And now there are rumors going around that even Starfield is gonna be 30 FPS. That, guys, we need to come together as one, okay? Whether you're Sony Pony or Xbox, guys, let's put our differences aside. Let's talk about this. Let's actually tell them we need 60 FPS. You know, a lot of good can happen. You remember when Xbox, Microsoft, they tried to make they tried to double the price of the Xbox Live Gold? People went in crazy, right? People started actually going in ganging, and they said, how dare you guys make it 120 a year? And then they had to revert back, and they had to go back to their old ways of making sure they do not raise the prices of the Xbox Live Gold. And I'm really glad that happened, because I can certainly see PlayStation doing the same. Had it been that people and the Xbox fans didn't complain about it and didn't voice their opinions on it, you know for the fact that Sony would have risen their prices for their live model as well. And can I actually be honest with you guys? Can we just stop this paying for online bullshiza? Like the video if you agree, man. Like the video. I don't care, okay? I don't care whether you play on Sony Ponies, PlayStation, or Xbox. We need to get rid of this disease that you need to constantly pay for playing online. Guys, come on, man. If you wanna play online games, you need to pay for online. Bruh, I mean, guys, one in the chat if you think they need to get rid of that too, man.
On PC, or playing on cloud, or playing on your TV, or playing it on your Xbox. I think, honestly, these statements are starting to solidify the fact that Xbox has a different vision for Microsoft than Microsoft has for Xbox. That's the way it seems to me. You see, the weirdness of a lot of this does come down to the fact that Sony is heavily reliant on PlayStation. PlayStation, by far, is the biggest piece of the pie. Like, Sony pays their bills by selling hundreds of millions of PlayStation games. Free-to-play stuff, games as a service, big AAA stuff that's $70 up front. All these different drips of revenue going into the PlayStation.
And that's where it's at, right? Because Sony really values PlayStation and it's one of their big business model. Whereas for Microsoft, they make a lot more money from different avenues, like from Windows, from the PC, and their AI. Their like I believe Bing is there on. I could be wrong actually with that. But we're talking about Microsoft. $1 trillion company versus Sony, which is $1 billion. But for Sony, their biggest asset is PlayStation, so they really need to. They cannot afford to put out like bad games after bad games. Obviously, Last was Part 1 on PC. It was a yikes, okay? It is a yikes, but it's on PC, not on PlayStation. But even then, you cannot defend PlayStation for that. You cannot defend Sony. They made a massive boo-boo. Let's keep a $1.50. But Sony really cannot afford that, whereas Microsoft, they can afford that. They can afford to lose money. And if I'm not mistaken, we had articles, news come out a while ago that says that Xbox, they lose money. They lose money from Xbox division, but Microsoft as a whole kind of makes up for it, and they're like, okay, you know what, we're playing a long-term game, and in the long run, Xbox is gonna make money. I believe that's how they are moving with this, with Game Pass. Once they have like 50 million subs, 100 million Game Pass subscribers, that's when they're gonna make a lot of money. I believe that's their play. But I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong.
Store actually pays Sony's bills, whereas Xbox has never really been profitable. Xbox has always been this fun extra experiment to bolster the stock of Microsoft.
Yeah, we had reports like that like back in 2021. Holy.
I wonder what happens when Microsoft gets tired of the Xbox experiment. Is that even possible? Are they in too deep? Now, I want to go on here and just take a look at this as well, because people are actually still talking about the fact that maybe this is a problem with Xbox marketing. They have really been pushing the idea that, you know, you're not supposed to buy these games. You're only supposed to have Game Pass. I have also seen a lot of conversation. I take a look at Xbox Twitter quite a bit, and these people talk about everything is better on Game Pass. Even when there's a cool indie game, there's a lot of conversation about that next hyped underground.
Like, listen, Game Pass for gamer per se is a good model. You can save a lot of money, but at what cost? Are we gonna lose quality if we go in that direction? Are we gonna have less games? Are we gonna have more games but not AAA games? That's the sacrifice you gotta make, I feel like, and you guys gotta understand this, okay? This is one of those things. If they keep on putting out games on Game Pass, yeah, it can be helpful for the gamers, and maybe in the long run, depending on how many subscriptions they have, subscriber number, if that is really high up there, then they can actually be profitable. But right now, I don't know about this. I don't know where it's going.
On title, I do straight up see people on Xbox say, I won't buy it until it comes to Game Pass. When it comes to Game Pass, then I'll try it. The problem with that is that Xbox still needs sales. Xbox is still trying to actually get their cut from the Microsoft Store. They need you to show up and buy games like Resident Evil 4 Remake. They need you to buy the next big expansion of Elder Scrolls Online. They need you to actually show up and buy stuff on their consoles and not just wait for Game Pass.
Yep. And you cannot blame like Xbox fans. You cannot blame people that have Game Pass, right? Because Microsoft really condition everybody. Like, for example, right? If I go ahead and if I buy Xbox right now, I know Game Pass exists. The first thing I'm gonna do is get Game Pass, and obviously gotta pay for online, which I absolutely hate. That disease needs to be removed. Okay, no more paying for online, okay? Let's start a movement, guys. We gamers demand better, okay? We need no online or no pay for online. Online should be free, but Game Pass, that I understand, okay? Paying for Game Pass service, that I understand. If I go ahead and buy Xbox, that's the first thing I'm buying, and a lot of people would do that too. why wouldn't anyone do that, right? Because a lot of games are on the platform. So Microsoft is really pushing people to do that, and if they're now seeing that it hurts their game sales, then damn. Let me know your thoughts. And also we have this story happen, GTA 6. Apparently this massively just happened. Somebody's claiming they have seen GTA 6 gameplay early. Click on this video on the screen. On the left though, we have another disaster, so check these videos out guys, and I will see you right there.